Hi, folks. Yes, it's Bobby again. The Honest Truth Part 2. Wow, sounds good, doesn't it? So, yeah, some of you might have seen this. We did a live yesterday, and it's a follow-up to the Philippines video I did. The Psychology of Deke I Fear for the Girl. Just my opinion. Reaction video. This was a follow-up live that I did, and we got a few people on who had expressed their opinions and spoke from the heart about the situation. So as I said, some might have seen it over on the Real Honest Truth one. So I've put it together. I've clipped their start out, and I've put it together so that you can actually watch it and listen to what everybody's got to say. Because I want people to listen to what people's views are. We all have opinions, and it's important that we keep the pressure on to get people who are not good people off the streets. So enjoy, guys. Morning, Simon.
Mate. All right. Yeah, morning, Bobby. All right, mate.
Thanks for joining us, Simon. What I want to do is, just before we start, I want to express, this corner of YouTube, it's very hypersensitive and people have twos and throws and arguments. I want everybody put their disagreements to one side and I want to focus on one issue. We can all like or dislike each other, but let's all pull together for this one. Simon, now, I know you're concerned like I am, and I hope you don't mind telling the people, but you contacted me last night with your concerns, and we decided to do a live. Now, it's about DH and his relationship with his new girlfriend. Can I ask what your feelings are just lately, Simon?
Well, obviously, everyone's like had a laugh and a joke about it, winding him up. I understand that like it can't always be serious about everything, but the way it's getting now, the way he's like manipulating her and she's left a job, she's got tattoos, branded her already. It's like he's just grooming her into that little, taking all her. I don't know how to describe it, like any credibility or anything she's got for herself, or he's just trying to take self-worth, he's trying to take everything away from her, so she's so dependent and relies on him, and you can just see it. I mean, I don't know whether she's got kids or not. I've seen posts saying she has, but he's not mentioned them once. So if he's trying to get her back to the UK, what's he going to do with the kids? Just leave them out there? He's just thinking about himself, isn't he, all the time?
Yeah. My concerns, right. If anybody doesn't understand what's happening, the recent videos that DH has been putting out, he's obviously got mental issues in some form, and he's revealing a pattern that we've seen before, and it's becoming come to a dangerous point where the girl is. I believe she's in danger. And what we're wanting to do is get together with people and say, look, how can we help this girl? Is there anything we can do? You might disagree and think everything's good, but if you look at the pattern in DH, you will see that this is coming to a dangerous point. What's your thoughts? What do you think we can do, Simon? Do you think we can do the biggest thing we can do is put the awareness out there?
I think that obviously spreading awareness. I mean, the main person to get in touch with him is Marty. I've sent Marty a link to this live, so I don't know if he'll come on.
Right.
I know he's not really going to want to get involved because obviously the situation he's got out there himself. I mean, that's irrelevant to me or to anyone else. I mean, all Decker keeps bringing up is his relationship status, and obviously saying he's having an affair. Whether that's true or not, that's nothing to do with any of us, or it don't really affect. Even if he was, there's no like danger to them women as such. But the way it's going on with this last, like I say, it's just every video you watch, it's just like worse and worse manipulation. I just think she's in a bad place at the minute. It's just when you watch the video last night, the way he's actually is towards her, it's scary to watch.
Yeah, I can see a pattern, definitely. I mean, I've kept my eye on this guy for the last 4 years, and I've seen it many times. I've spoken to victims of his, and I get emails from a victim saying that, look, this is I won't call them victims, I'll call them survivors, because anybody who comes through something like this is a survivor.
You will. You will as well, because I've had quite a few message me through Facebook. Some are happy to talk about it, some want to talk about it, but just keep it between me and them. I've had people come to warn me, obviously, from the beginning when I spoke to him, and obviously I've stayed in touch with quite a few. It's just the same repeat pattern every time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a pattern, definitely a pattern. But like I said, I mean, I've had people message me, and it's all in confidentiality. You know, I mean, I would never tell anybody, but they'll message me and say, or email me and say, Bobby, I've seen this before. This is how it was with me. And we all feel deeply that we need to stop this pattern before it gets out of hand. Whether we can, I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure put on Marty. Love him or hate him, believe him or not, what he says, it's up to you. But what I'd like to do, if we could, if Marty's listening, if he could jump on, you know, understandably, Marty, you will feel pressured by everybody. But, you know, I want everybody to forget his differences and try and pull together and see if there's something we can do. Because the last thing we want, Simon, is to, you know, to wake up and hear that the worst has happened, you know, and we've all sat and watched.
Yeah, I think, sorry, my mind's just gone a minute. What am I going to say now? I can't even remember. I'm not been feeling it today, mate.
Yeah. I mean, I've invited a few people on. Anybody in the chat would like to come on if they've got something constructive. I'll post a link. Any ideas you want to put in the chat, that would be great. You know, it's, as I said, it's not. This isn't a roast live, and it's not. You know, it's. We don't want to disagree. It's a serious live where we want to see if we can do something. I've posted the link in the chat. If anybody wants to jump on with suggestions, because I know there's a lot of people, you know, that join the chats that have got experience, they've got, you know, knowledge of how to deal with things, and that's what we need, really, isn't it? You know,
on the video last night, Bobby, do you think she'd been on the diazepam as well? Because I mean, she looked very, very slurry and like tired. It was just like it was as if they'd both been on diazepam, just about to go to sleep, and then Decca like woke her up to make a video.
Good question. Now, as I said, I've watched his behaviour before in these situations. He will definitely have tried to introduce her to drugs if she wasn't already, you know, and there's a chance that, she was on something, but his behaviour last night, the poor girl couldn't get away from him.
Yeah, we just wouldn't take no as an answer, would he? Even if it was just having a cuddle, laid having a cuddle, anything.
No. Welcome, SH Legal. How are we doing, friend?
Hello.
Yeah, we just won't take no as an answer, would he? Even if it was just having a cuddle, laid having a cuddle.
Can you turn your TV off or your volume down on YouTube, mate?
Hello. Morning, Bobby. Morning, Simon.
Morning, mate. You all right?
What's your thoughts, SH Legal, on the situation? I mean, it's
my
got to a dire state.
Is we have got to stop him bringing her to the UK. As it is now, she's got friends and family around her that he's trying to distance himself from. Once she gets to the UK, she has got nobody apart from him and his friends and family.
Yes. That
now,
is... Go on, sorry.
So it's basically being alienated as a sex slave.
I don't understand why he's trying to get her to the UK, because he knows full well as soon as he gets to this country he's going to be arrested. So what's going to happen to her? She's just going to end up in his spare box room at his mum's, or what? What plans has he actually got for her when she gets to the UK? It doesn't make sense.
I can't remember the name of it, but you know, the barge. That's what I can see in her future if she comes with him.
Can't remember the name of what, mate?
The barge, HMS.
Oh, right. Right, yeah.
You know the one I'm on about? Where they're keeping the asylum seekers.
Oh, I'm with you. Yes. Look, I don't think it'll get to that point. I don't think they'll let her out of the country, to be honest. That's my opinion.
I don't think she'll get home.
And this...
I've got a sneaky feeling they won't, because of an email I've had.
I mean, who knows? I mean, none of us know. Can you pay your way out of that country? Who knows? And you know,
Harry visited.
with the mentality of DH, he will go down any route because he never gives up on anything. He destroys everything he touches, and if there's a route out, he will try and get that way. But
was Gary Glitter in the Philippines or Cambodia when he paid the £1,000
it
to
was Cambodia, I think.
Victims?
I think it was Cambodia. But yeah, there's corruption in that country, but also, you know, when it becomes a Philippines national, they're very sensitive, you know. But what my thoughts are, yeah, we need to stop him bringing her back because she's just going to be caged in a small room, isn't she? I mean, you know, the whole family's dysfunctional. They'll think that's normal. But in the Philippines, things are turning. Let me explain. Listen, if you've watched his latest video, he's complaining that everybody's getting picking on his channel, he's getting warnings, etc. And at the end, his girlfriend says to him something about immigration, and they have to go back, I think. These are things that will trigger him. These are things that will turn him into the monster if he doesn't get his own way. So that's why I'm concerned for now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, she does seem to actually open her mouth on that. She doesn't sit there quiet, does she? So she does voice her opinions and that, and that's where, like you say, he's gonna start snapping at her if he says something on a live that he doesn't agree with, or he says something that he doesn't want getting out there on Facebook. Look at the photos. He's still trying to blame Martin for taking the photos, but both photos were from his own lives.
Morning, Rich.
Hi.
Are you okay, darling?
Yeah, I'm not bad. Not
Rachel's joined us, and I know you're triggered with all this, Rachel, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, God. Well, I've not seen any of it over the weekend, you see. I've just kind of like, I've been busy. But when I had a look at that this morning, what I didn't watch is I watched yours. I watched your breakdown of that video. And
right. Have we lost you?
Sorry.
It's okay.
But yeah, it's not. It was a hard watch. What we're seeing is emotional manipulation,
right?
Coercive control. He's got no respect for this woman's boundaries whatsoever. She doesn't appear to me to have a choice in anything. If I was lying in bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I rolled over to my bloke filming us with the intention of plastering it all over YouTube,
asking you to tell him you love him at 2 o'clock in the morning,
asking us to tell us I love him, and no, like I'd be away.
Yeah, I think my message would say "fuck off, you idiot" and turn over.
I'd probably nut him. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what you playing it? And she doesn't have a choice in the matter. And then when it got to that part where it was like, he said he loved her twice and she didn't respond. And it was, if you don't say it back, the trolls are going to think that they're going to use that and they're going to say you don't love us.
What he meant is he's obviously his second question, and he's guessing, does she love me? Shan't said it. It's all in his mind. And the thing, because if you notice everything he says about all us and all the people that do this and do that, everything he accuses everyone of, he does himself.
Yeah.
It's so strange. He's not even aware of what he's saying, because he says stuff about everyone, and then he can even say the same conversation, but it's already, everything he's talked about, he's already covered himself. He's done it.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it's a good word to use, his boundaries, Rachel. You know, he doesn't know the boundaries. He doesn't know. He you know, we all learn as growing up that, you know, personal space is very important. I once had to educate a friend of mine in a pub because he didn't understand it. He wasn't a bad guy, but he didn't understand there's personal space you don't get in people's faces. Eggy doesn't understand this. And this is the problem. That, along with manipulation, is a dangerous mix. Now, where can we go from here with this? What do you think, guys?
Well, it's just like you say, it's like boundaries are boundaries, and it's not just personal space. The word no in itself creates an immediate boundary.
Yes.
And it should do anyway. And if you don't take that no for an answer and you cross that boundary, you are really completely violating somebody, no matter what the situation is.
Yes. It's
Yeah,
respect
but
for the
Rachel,
other
you
person.
understand the word no.
Yes.
The hardest bit's obviously finding a way to protect her out there as well, 'cause it's virtually impossible. I mean, the only way I see is like people going out there, but I mean, flights out there cost a lot of money, and then you've got accommodation, and everything. There's no one really from the UK going to travel out there
No.
to protect a woman that they don't know nothing about, and she might not even want the help when you get there.
I mean, I've
That's
messaged
obviously
Martin
why.
this morning, point
Yeah,
blank, saying, "Look, I know it's not your problem, but somebody really needs to try and get this girl out of this
yeah, I've said
situation."
similar to him as well. I said similar to Martin last night. It's obviously like for even people that's been like all on this side of YouTube, you watch it. No one can actually watch that video last night and take the piss or like pull it to bits. It was just
There
sad
was
to watch. Like
nothing
I
you
say,
can laugh at.
no, it were emotional to watch.
It spoke volumes, and anybody who has been through a similar situation, that it's obvious they will be triggered. You know, there's so many signs. You know, it's just so sad. I know there's not a lot more. Morning, Danny.
Good morning, everyone.
I know there's not a lot we can do, but I just feel as though we can't let it move to the next stage, and it's definitely going to do it, guys. It's definitely
It's
going to.
moving at a very rapid rate, even by
I
Decker's
was just going to
standards.
say it's going very fast because, like you say, I mean, she's left a job already, so she's reliant on him for money. So he's got around him full time. He don't want her to work, so he don't want other people looking at her. Obviously, he's took her off social media and said he's coming off himself. I mean, I think I've seen a video this morning where he says on about going back on Facebook, which I'd be surprised if he'd even come off anywhere.
You see, we are up against it, Simon, because you know we don't understand the culture in the Philippines. Here in the UK, one of the next step he would do is, if he hadn't already tried to do, is isolate her from a family. But how close are families in the Philippines? So it's very difficult to understand how these people react to it.
He did comment in his. Sorry, go on, Rachel. Sorry.
Sorry, not going to get on. Fine.
He did comment on his live yesterday in the comments. People, a family's trying to turn her against me. So he's obviously playing that card already. Either a family or a friends or something like that. I did screenshot
what I fail to understand is, and I know you talked about this earlier about trying to get her to the UK. How any woman could leave children behind to start a new life, that
Has she
frightened my
definitely got
brain.
How
children?
often that happens?
Has she definitely got children?
I've heard a rumour of 2.
I've seen people say that. I haven't seen any proof that it's very strange that they haven't been brought up or anything. Obviously, if they're
Well, I
planning
don't
on
know
moving
how
to
one
the
day we
UK,
can be saying that she's a lady boy, but in the next breath she's got 2 kids. Like, we'll have to decide on one of those things. It can't be
that's
both.
what I said. I mean, that's what I
100%.
was saying. Obviously, people take it mick a bit about me saying she looks
I
like a
think it
man.
is genuinely a woman, to be fair.
Yeah, I think
do
it's
believe
genuine a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't trust anything that DH says. Look, you know, a month ago, 3 weeks ago, he said, you know, they had the test back and she was positive they were going to be
Pregnant,
parents.
And no, they're not.
Now he's saying, you know, she's come on a period and it's not happening.
Why would you tell the world something like that?
Correct.
It's
Now,
absolutely bizarre.
He's so blind.
If my partner told YouTube that I'd come on my period, I would lose my shit. Sorry for swearing, Bobby, but I would.
No. It's you see, this is the thing. The thing is, what hurts me, one of the things is she's not allowed her opinion. You know, if we've got a difference of opinion, me and my wife will sit down and we'll talk through it and we'll make a decision between us. He does and says what he wants. The girl, and I think the girl is picking up on it. But
before I forget about what I was going to say, just before Simon spoke,
sorry,
something's really, really bothering me, and I kind of half touched on this with Marty way before the tube came along. Girls over there, particularly younger girls, but any women particularly who are living in poor conditions in the provinces, in the villages, they're not nice conditions. I mean, they don't know any different, and they're very humble, and they seem to quite enjoy it. And I probably would if that was what I was born into, in a nutshell. but they know there is a significantly better life out there. There is better lifestyle. And these women, majority of them know that unless they have the ability to become quite well educated, their only hope at a better life is finding a man who is going to take care of them. Now, if Decker has moved in on this woman, given that when we've seen it, I'm going to take care of her. Big Decker's going to look after her. She can quit work. But he's got no income. Right. This woman, if she is living in such poor conditions and she has got this dream of moving to England and living happily ever after,
holding on to the hope,
she's going to be so well off. Is she going to actually just sit there and put up with whatever he throws at her?
Yeah, it's like she's holding on to that little bit of hope that there's some goodness in him, and like, oh, it'll be worth it in the end. But it's never going to be worth it in the end with Decker. That's the problem.
Not at all, Simon. It's heartbreaking to watch because we know how manipulative the empathy fraud that he performs daily towards his, I'm going to call them his community, his decaphiles, all those followers. But the GoFundMe is going nowhere. I mean, if you keep an eye on it, I checked it, I think I checked it on Saturday, and that is going nowhere.
Can we just say hello to Duck Egg, who's joined the chat? She's sat there quiet.
Hi, lovely.
That's all right.
Hi,
Morning, all. Morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning.
And thank you for listening last night.
Can I just bring you into it, Duck Egg? What's your thoughts after listening to us and watching the videos?
I'm late to the party listening to you guys, so I'm hoping you've touched on. I spoke to some of you yesterday evening about that video of the poor Chew in bed trying to sleep. And he's going, do this, say this, say this, say this, do this. And the poor woman's going, no.
She just wanted to sleep, didn't she?
Oh, do you know, it nearly had me in tears. I was just shouting at YouTube, just like, leave the poor woman alone. What is wrong with you?
It had me slightly worried. Has he give her friggin' Valium as well?
I think he's spiked to me. I think he's probably put some in a drink. I definitely think he's put some in a drink. Either that or she's done it willingly. But she definitely had something. But the way she was, you can be tired and laid in bed asleep. You're not that drowsy, are you?
The way he kind of alluded to it this morning was that she got him this prescription from the doctor. So it's obviously under her name.
Yeah, probably.
He's told her, listen, say this, this, and this, and it will get you this, this, and this. And it's the drugs that he abuses constantly. He mentioned now... Was it Saturday? He mentioned tramadol.
Yeah, I was just about to go on to that. Me and Simon were talking about this yesterday.
I'm not going to lie to you. I had a problem with tramadol, but I managed to get myself off it. It's a horrible drug.
I was married to a tramadol addict.
I've been on tramadol for over 15 years.
He used to take 10 at a time. He used to wake up in the morning, he would put 10 straight down his neck.
Holy shit.
And then he would have probably another 6, 8, 10 at about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then there'd be more on night time. He has been known to open them up and sniff the contents.
Yeah, well, that's why I said to you yesterday.
I was married to that bloke, and my relationship with him started the same way that this relationship that theirs is. It was all lovey-dovey. It was all perfect. Everything was wonderful. Control came in very quickly. I'm now probably lucky to be alive. Every relationship he had since me got worse, to the point where he's now in prison because he nearly killed a woman. And this situation that he is in and she is in is only going to get worse and is going to get worse.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's moving at a staggering rate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's try to give our heads together to think, listen, let's have a concerted effort and all move in one direction and all do this.
Yes.
But what do we do?
The thing is, everyone's trying to hit him at his pocket at the minute. I mean, the GoFundMes, you've seen everyone's trying to report it. They're clearly not going to do anything about it. They must have had hundreds and hundreds of reports on that GoFundMe, and it's not been taken down. So I can't see it going anywhere. Same way as YouTube. Everyone's attacking.
Following on from that, Simon, Dave in one of Dave's lives said that GoFundMe's still up, but it's suspended. He cannot take any money out of it. Now,
I'm looking forward to Dave's live tonight, actually.
That's right. There's one booked for 8 o'clock, isn't there?
Yeah. Apparently, it's been to Google.
There's one thing we have to remember, and all, it's very complex, is this situation, because none of us know,
we don't know the dynamics of what's going on.
We don't know, correct, and we don't know the state of the girl. We don't know if she's vulnerable. We don't know if she could be, obviously they're not. The education in the Philippines isn't what we have, but is she vulnerable? We don't really know because there's a breakdown. But sorry, Simon, go on.
She's got 2 kids.
There's a person in the chat called Addict at the moment. They've just asked how they join. That was the guy who I actually screenshotted his comments. He's one the one that actually at home with me reading what he put. I'd like to actually see what he says if you can get him on this. He put it a few messages back. His name's just Addict, and it's the how can I join the chat.
Right, unfortunately I can only get 6 on.
Listen, I'll jump off then, guys.
Okay, Danny, thanks for joining us, Danny.
No worries, good talking to you all again.
Take care, mate. Thank you.
You take care of yourself, buddy.
Bye-bye.
I think I said this to some of you yesterday. We talk about this term grass, right? Now, nobody is a grass when it comes to Decker and what he's doing.
Nobody's a grass when it comes to women and children. Point blank.
Absolutely. And, I don't think any of us sat around this table at the moment are particular experts in how things work in the Philippines. But surely to God, there is something. And actually, that lady said it on one of the videos about a protection service specifically for women and children. And and I don't know whether it was Decker talking fluff, but I think
he's going to get seriously hurt eventually because someone's going to wake up and realise what he's doing out there. They're not all gullible people out there. Someone's going to see it, and once he does, that's it, game over. Because those people out there
going to take a machete to him.
Correct. Now, can we just welcome Addict to the panel? He's just joined us.
Morning,
guys. Thanks for letting us on.
Hiya.
What's your thoughts, Addict?
Scary situation going on over there. This poor girl. Last night I watched that video, and I'm sure I've just heard it mentioned anyway, but he's definitely popped her some Valium, or he's manipulated her into having some Valium with him. It's classic, hence the name Addict. I mean, Decker is a classic addict. Master manipulator, selfish, self-centered, doesn't care about anybody else but himself.
The comment you posted on his video last night, I actually screenshotted it and put it on a community tab. I think I tagged you in it. You written it word for word, perfect, exactly what he is, exactly the way the video had gone.
It's honestly, guys, scary situation, and I am very, very, very kind of scared for this poor young girl over there.
I sat here shaking watching that this morning. I was in tears. I had actual tears, thinking somebody really needs to do something about this.
It's certain stuff you've already. I think you hit the nail on the head when you said. I watched when he asked her to give him say you love me twice. He never said it, and then he said, "The trolls will think you don't like me now because you've not given me it." No, Decker, it's nothing to do with the trolls. That's your insecurities right there. Yeah, she has to tell you she loves you for you to feel valued or to feel valid. This ain't gonna go well, honestly. And I wish, if Martin hears this, Martin, come on, man, do something. This poor girl she's in danger, and you're in the Philippines. There must be something you can do. We can all see it playing out. Let's not get to the horrific part of it. Let's do something now.
I think Martin's at that stage now where he's thinking, obviously, he don't want to get involved with Decker because he don't want any repercussions on himself. But at the end of the day, he's got to think about this woman and put her first.
I think Martin's scared of the law there, isn't he? At the end of the day, he can be living there, but he's still a guest. In their eyes, he's still a guest.
It's not. Everybody's got their own skeletons at the end of the bloody day, haven't they? He'll have his reasons, and I think part of it's probably just he's out for a quiet fucking life. He's probably had enough. But I couldn't have that on my conscience.
No, exactly. That's why I feel, Rachel, exactly the same as you've just said. As much as I'd want to stay out with it and not get involved, I couldn't sit there watching it knowing that's happening down the road from me. If it was someone else,
Wow, if he's a good man, which he says he's a good man, if anything drastic happens here, he will be shaking inside knowing that he could have done something.
And maybe it's a bit unfair of me to expect Martin to get involved. Obviously, I'm not in his situation, and I'm not sat in the Philippines with my own family, my own 2 kids, which he is. So fair enough. I get that. But it's horrific to watch, and I think Rachel's already said it. Like how quick it's got here. It's got here so fast to this point now where she's.
He's making out. He's been with her for so long, but he hasn't.
I've
it's
said
clear as
this
day.
100 times.
It's been 2 or 3 weeks most.
Yeah.
Nobody falls in love quicker than a man who needs somewhere to live.
I don't know if anybody saw it, but I think it was about a month ago, or 3 weeks ago. He on her live, he said to the girl, he said, "We're going to go live in the UK. You want to come to the UK and live with me?" And she went, "No." She didn't. She was. I think she's happy where she is, and she's happy with her community, and she's just. Wow, it's just, what can you say, guys? What can you do?
Keep saying it. Everyone's picking on her. Everyone's saying that everyone's down, slagging her off because of where she lives, because she's poor and because she lives in this rough area. I ain't seen not one person slag her off other than him. No. He's the one that ripped her to bits. He's the one that's slagging off where she lives, not no one else.
It's very typical manipulative isolative
behaviour
to get someone to stop the job, get them to removed off YouTube, keep them all to yourselves, then put them down in front of other people. And it's like watching a double-decker bus full of people going over to that cliff edge and the brakes aren't going on.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why we're all here this morning, is it's the upset and not being able to actually do anything but watching it coming.
Last night, the way the video played out last night, the last one where it was dark and is over in the bed and they're both like asleep, half asleep. That was just one that seemed to hit home with me. Like, I watched that and I thought, how can people take the piss out of this? It's a serious matter. This now. It's
to be fair,
Craig's going to have to be very careful with that video this afternoon.
Yeah, he is, because there's no way you can't laugh at that no matter what you think.
I think Craig needs to put that on a separate show.
To be fair, guys,
rather than laugh and joke about it, he needs to do the serious 10 minutes before he starts with that.
So it's quite good, actually. It's taken a moment and sort of saying, actually, this is quite serious. So hopefully you'll take that approach. So
yeah. Marty did also say they had him and Chu had mutual friends. So
yeah, I saw that.
And give her the heads up. Her mutual friends, the heads up.
Yes, that's a good point, is that, Marty doesn't have to get involved. He doesn't have to worry about his family and being in a foreign country. He could actually give the heads up to other people to do it. People who will be listened to. I'm sure if you go into a police station as a Filipino national, they're going to listen to you.
Yeah, I thought that, surely.
Before they listen to... Sorry, Simon, go on.
I mean, we have welfare checks, don't we? Sorry, mate.
To do, but I just thought I'd jump on because...
Yeah, take care, mate. Nice speaking to you.
Just a nice one, guys. Thanks a lot. You take care.
Thanks, Addict. Have a great day, mate.
Guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's discussed the day before yet. What happened 2 days ago now, though? Something that I was going to talk about then.
Was it the cringy kiss video?
The what, sorry?
That cringy midnight kissing video?
No, sorry. The bang, actually, that's what we're going to talk about. The bang from the day before. He's supposed to be this big hard man that looks after her. As soon as he heard a bang somewhere at the door, he absolutely shit himself. He were hiding under covers. Chew, go check it out. Chew, go look round. It's like, if I heard a bang in my house, I'd jump up straight away and I'd go look round. If I've got my kids and my missus in house, your reaction isn't to hide under cover and send your missus there. It was just very strange behaviour.
It is.
Can we just welcome Ronan from Alden Official on?
Morning, I am, mate. Nice to meet you, Ronan.
Well, how's things?
Now, Ronan, let me just explain, guys. Ronan sits on the outskirts of all this. He keeps an interest. He's had actually contact with Eggy at one point, so he knows. He spoke to him personally at one point.
I like getting Ronan's opinion. He's very he covers all angles.
It's a fresh opinion. Let's see what Ronan thinks.
I think that he's over there taking advantage of a poverty situation, and there's women over there that probably fill in his ego. The question I would have is, girlfriend at the minute, is she
taking advantage of him too, because he's a foreigner and he's got a bit of money about him, or is it a one-sided affair? Is Dickie over there just doing what he does? Doing terrible things to women? I don't know. But as the recent videos I watched the video there yesterday where he was saying he was going to do a Royal mug, he was going to do this, he was going to do that. The guy's 6,000 miles away. He lived beside DC for how many years now, and he never done a thing. So
yeah, exactly.
He's trying to play the mental health card. So whenever he comes back, he's not once he's lifted, he's done under the Mental Health Act, and he doesn't go to court or whatnot. He's trying to get away with it basically because he knows when he comes back here, he's done. That's him. It's game over, game set, match.
Completely agree.
The thing is, Rowan, I know something quite a bit about the Mental Health Act, and what I will say is this: he's playing a very stupid game. Because in order to avoid court, he has to be seen by a consultant psychiatrist. Only a consultant psychiatrist can decide whether or not he's fit for trial. And he is clearly all over the place saying, I've got a substance abuse problem, which completely falls outside of the Mental Health Act. You cannot be detained if you've got a substance misuse problem.
I can back that up because, again, I was married to a tramadol addict who tried to get sectioned on more than one occasion, and because he was under the influence of various substances, they could not get a clear view of mental health. Therefore, it was a waste of time.
No, they won't touch him. There's no way if he lands back, he's going to win that card. He's just doing him. So the more he rants about it on YouTube, the bigger a hole he's digging himself, really.
Yeah. Do they have like a welfare check service like out there? Like obviously over here you can ring police and get a welfare check done on people, can't you? Is there nothing out there that we can get done to
absolutely nothing, Simon. I would right now that's a developing country, right? It's classified as third world, and right now a guy like himself and many others, by the way, there's many other people out there. I've been looking into it. The amount of beasts that live in that country.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's prime for it, right?
Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but there is somebody within our circle who has actually physically spoken to the Filipino police on the phone at one point. And from what I gather, even just finding a contact detail for them was extremely difficult. When somebody did answer the phone, it sounded like they had just been woken up and didn't have a fucking clue what anybody was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's not really that option's pretty much out the fucking window. Pardon my language.
I would like to think he would win the mental health card at court. Then he'll get sectioned, and then he's got to convince psychiatrists that he's fit to be released into society.
That's easy because he's not it would take him 3 days. They would keep him for 72 hours and go, this is not a mental health issue, this is a drug issue.
Exactly that.
But if the judge sections him, it is then it's a different equation.
Drug-induced psychosis
from court, not sectioning himself.
Yeah, the only way a judge will section somebody, so it's a home office restriction alongside a mental health. Again, you still need a consultant psychiatrist, but if that person is deemed a risk in terms of index offences, then a judge can do like a hospital order as opposed to a prison order.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't fit the criteria at all. He's just, and when he keeps talking about I'm going to Broadmoor, I just sit here thinking, what are you talking about? No, you're not.
We can verify this lady knows what she's talking about as well, by the way, just for the record. Bobby knows that as well.
Yeah, and it is sad because he might get, on landing, if he looks completely off his face, he could potentially get what's called a Section 136, which is a police holding power, where if they look at somebody that's behaving erratically, they can put you on a 136 to then be assessed by a professional, but it's only a 72-hour holding power, and by the time...
Well, that's what he's had done before, because when he keeps saying, I've been sectioned, no, he hasn't. Yeah. He's had a 72-hour observation, that's what he's done. He's put himself in for a 72-hour assessment, and they've released him saying, you don't need to be here.
My friend was sectioned last year, and for them to get out of that place they had to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
There was none of this.
You've got to be in a bad old place to be getting sectioned, and as much as he is in a bad place, it's not that type of place.
Yeah. Like there was none of this 3-day thing, like you're going to go in for 3 days and that's it. This person was in here for like months, and they actually broke out. And they were put back in. But
I used to live in a pub and work in a pub that was straight facing our local psychiatric unit, basically. And we used to get the people who used to come out on sort of day release. They were coming for they were given like an allowance. They were coming for half or whatever. And there was a strange old mix of people, I'm not going to lie. most of them were pretty sound. Now and again, we would get an escapee. And these people were mental. Like, batshit mental. Decker Heggy's not batshit mental. He's a nutcase, yes, but he's not batshit
He's a
mental.
manipulator. It's all. He thinks it all through before he does anything. It's all like tactical moves. It's like he's
very calculated.
narcissistic behaviour, isn't it? That's what it is.
The
Also
thing
a
is, guys.
sociopath. He's also a sociopath.
He's a
Sorry,
complete
Bobby.
sociopath.
Yes.
Yes,
The thing is,
sociopath,
guys, he actually did a video with a psychiatrist or psychologist. I don't know if anybody saw it.
I reached out to him, Bobby. I reached out to get him on my show, and he's seen my message and he didn't reply. Maybe he's just a busy guy.
No.
He's always on this morning. He was duped. That guy was duped.
Yes. What
know?
I'm trying to say is, DH has already duped, a professional medicine man. He has his manipulation skills. I think they're underestimated. They're very, very good. He's not the brightest, knife in the drawer, but his manipulation skills, as we saw last night on that video, he was determined she wasn't going to go to sleep, and she was going to, he had her there, for him for his ego, to bring him in, and the thing is, he's obsessed with YouTube and with this girl. Now, because he's pressed the obsession button with her, this is the danger and the worry,
Yeah.
Just let me bring somebody else in. There we go.
You're 100% right, Bobby.
Jimmy Mack, how we doing?
Hello, guys. How's everyone doing?
Thanks for
Morning,
joining
Jimmy.
us, mate.
Morning, Jimmy.
Hi.
And what's your thoughts, mate, on the current situation?
Come back to me in a bit, Bobby, because I think Ronan was just about to say something when you brought me on there.
Yes, certainly. Ronan.
No, I was questioning for yourself, Bobby. What do you think? Do you think she's using him just as much as he's using her?
Sorry, guys, I knocked a button.
Look, the culture out there is, around the world, the UK is the golden.
I've got quite
in the third world countries, UK is the golden nugget. They don't
I've
even
got
stop
quite
at
a strong
France.
view on that. Actually,
Yeah.
I think what's happened originally is when he's been staying in the flash hotels for 20 quid a night, and he's met her, he has portrayed that he is well off, and he's a movie star, and he's a former bare-knuckle boxing champion that's never won a title. And she has fell hook, line and sinker for that and thought, jackpot, I can get into the UK. I can marry this guy, I can provide for my kids, I can give money to my family. This is my golden ticket. And I think after the little drug bust situation in the hotel, it's all went a little bit peak-tong. And now she is stuck in a situation that I don't even think she knows she's in.
Yeah. So
yeah, I'm just going to jump off there, Bobby. It was just a quick one. Listen, thanks for letting me on, and big up
thanks
to
for
the
joining
panel.
us, Ronan. Yeah, take care.
Yeah.
People, go and see Ronan's channel. Great channel.
Thanks, Bobby.
Ronan.
Peace out. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Ronan.
So, have you been watching this unfold, Jimmy?
I just jumped on about 15 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
I seen that you're on a live because I was in the office anyway. Watching the whole Filipino thing unfold, but I just agree with everyone else. Do you know what I mean, the girl's obviously in some sort of potential danger there.
Mm-hmm.
But
morning, everyone.
And I fully understand everyone's frustrations, and I share them as well.
Yeah.
But I don't really think there is, unless you're on the ground, there's not really a lot any of us can do. I think possibly, you said that if Martin does know mutual friends, then if they were to approach her, but if he's got her to give up her job and she's in his company 24/7.
You've got to bear in mind how manipulative he is as well. It's so easy for him to convince people everybody's lying.
Yeah. Craig.
Morning.
Welcome to the panel, mate. It's a little bit of a sober one, this, mate, as you know.
Yep.
And
come in.
How do you feel this is going to, where's it going from here, Craig?
I don't know. Derek's kind of winning at the moment in terms of finally got a girl that nobody can contact. He's finally got a girl that nobody can warn him about.
Yeah.
A question for Craig. What are you doing at this time of morning?
I set an alarm early to get up for Bobby.
I made him get up.
I feel like I'm going on holiday. I'm not that early.
I didn't want to cross with his live, his daily decker.
The only thing that I know first hand is that our first name is actually Married to.
All right, well, that's just what he wants to do, isn't it? Marry you.
Hey.
It's very complex, isn't it? I mean, as I said, if this was in the UK and this was happening, we know, being UK citizens, just how the law works and what we can and can't do. But with it being over there, we're even struggling to understand what kind of personality she's got. But this is going to escalate so fast, and I feel as though, we need to do something. As good people, we need to do something. But what can we do? That's the thing, isn't it? What can we do?
Well, hands are tied completely at the moment. How old do you think she is? I don't think she's 36.
Well,
not 36. You didn't have a very good paper.
It'd be very clever if you could, because
it's hard
they're very
to tell
difficult people. Yeah,
with these Asians, mind you, because I've always maintained you never see a middle-aged looking Asian person. They always look really, really young or really, really old, and you can never tell how old they actually are. They could be like 22 and they look 105, or they could be 105 and look 22.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yes.
Like, I've never seen a 37-year-old Asian ever. Not one that looks that old anyway. I'm not being racist or anything. It's just bizarre that the way people age over there is mad, or don't age. It's one way or the other. Like, they stay looking really young, or they get really old really quick.
I think a lot of that, I mean, you look at the people in Mediterranean countries, you go to Greek islands and stuff, and you see these old, do you know what I mean? Greek men and women that are like 95 and stuff, but
they
they're
look
still
40.
Yeah, right. But it's because, things like diet and lifestyle and stuff like that does, come into that.
But when it comes to vulnerability, to me, well, generally, it doesn't matter whether you're 21, 31, 41, 51. We don't know her circumstances that may or may not make her
And
vulnerable.
not just that, it doesn't matter how old you are. Anybody can get into an abusive relationship at any age and at any point in time and be completely oblivious to it.
Absolutely that. Yeah. And I think...
Like, everybody could see what was going on in my relationship. I couldn't.
Well, and everybody, sadly, on YouTube can see what's going off with this relationship. And unfortunately, she's been isolated, been forced to leave a job, remove herself off any social media accounts. If that doesn't scream vulnerability, I don't know what does.
Yeah.
Well, this comment that's on the screen at the moment that Bobby's got up from this guy Andy saying Derek's not smart. He's had the same predatory behaviour over 20 years. And he has. Derek, listen, I think people give Derek too much props for his mental capacity. He's not a smart man, right? What his manipulative tactics, like we've seen on the text messages from the girls in the UK trying to get the money, it's proper like early teenage sort of guilt trip type level, and it's just repetition. Basically, he's got this sort of skill, like small skill set in his he's got a small toolbox of manipulative tools that he uses, but it's the repetition of them, almost like a numbers game.
Yeah.
Very much.
But he's not smart. He's sick as fuck, but he's just driven by his own predations and it's classic addict stuff, isn't it? It's constant, it's instant gratification with everything else. There's a myriad of potential mental health disorders or psychological disorders that Derek's got. It's not the two that he talks about, he claims. He's co-opted those stories, some other people. Because again, when he repeats the story, it's very, very short. And someone that has got PTSD or complex PTSD has probably got an encyclopedia of examples of times when it's affected them. Do you know what I mean?
My little sister's actually diagnosed with complex PTSD, and she is, again, for want of a better phrase, batshit mental. And her triggers are bizarre. You can be having the most normal conversation and she can just go from 0 to 100 and she's crying and you don't know why. Or she can ring you at 3 o'clock in the morning crying her eyes out and she doesn't know why she's crying. or she's terrified to stay in her own house, but she's terrified to leave the house at the same time. It's insane. It's horrible to watch somebody suffer with something like that. It really fucking is.
Yeah. Can I just say, guys, listen, we're not going to go past. We're not going to go past. Another 15 minutes because Craig's going to be doing his daily. I have a couple of people in the backstage who'd like to have their opinion. If I could bring them on, but I'm limited to 6.
I'll
jump off, guys. It's not a problem. I'll jump off.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks,
See you
Rich.
soon.
It's just I want to spray the awareness as much as I can.
No, definitely, completely. Yeah.
Thank you,
not a problem. Nice to speak to you, Annie.
Wayne, are you there, Wayne? I've got my finger on the button. No? Right, we'll take Wayne off. We'll try Carlisle.
Hello.
Hi. How are we doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Sorry, mate, go on.
No. I've been trying to get on for a while, but I'm always very busy. I've been meaning to get on Craig's lives.
Oh, I know who you are. Hello, mate.
Yeah, that's me. But I've actually got the kids, so I might have to pop off at any time.
Okay, mate. So what's your thoughts? Give us your thoughts on the current situation, mate.
Well, it's disturbing, isn't it? It's disturbing. I don't know if there's anything that can be done either by everyone trying to contact the authorities and see if they'll go around and give her the info too, and then maybe she can decide for herself. But by the looks of it, she's probably dependent on him. She'll think he's rich, won't she?
Yeah.
Well, his YouTube money, which isn't much in our world, will be a fortune over there compared to hers.
That's exactly it. He's got her right where he wants her, and she's got no idea of the danger she's in.
That's it.
But he's one of the.
I can see people in the chat saying, if she's 36, she'll be clued up and whatnot. But people can only act on the information that they're given, and she'll have only been given a side of the story, which means she doesn't know anything that's true about him at all, probably. Because, even the things he brags about being aren't real, let alone the things he says he's not, which he is, if you know what I mean.
Exactly. It's disturbing. She is in a lot of danger. She is. And if he gets her back over here, it's just going to isolate her. She'll be in the box bedroom. She'll just be a slave.
Yeah. But the positive side of that is we're aware of that. If she's back in this country, we could send someone round. Come on. We've got to be,
She'd probably be safer in this country, to be fair. She'd probably be safer in this country, but
yeah,
because there's more the authorities could probably do, but at the same time, she's going to have to go through it before it gets to that.
Yeah. I don't think she'll get the visa. I don't think they'll let her out myself.
Not a chance.
He won't be able to afford that.
So just to spin back to remember what Ronan was saying, and he was going, do you think maybe she thinks she's manipulating him as much? Yes, in Southeast Asia, there are, I know of people from Thailand that have gone to Thailand and they've got like a little Thai girlfriend, and then they've come back, and then this was when I was living in Australia, and then they've come back to Australia, and then the little Thai girlfriend is constantly tapping them up for money for my grandmother's sick, and you know what I mean, and the well in the village has run dry, and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, that kind of does go on, but that's not what's happening in this case. I don't think. I think she's been working somewhere. I'm going to suspect a shop that he's been going into a lot. This is going back from his words saying, remember I used to come into your work all the time, baby. Again, his words, he constantly badgered her, didn't he? She didn't like him at first. He said he was boastful because he's out there telling everyone that he's a movie star, isn't he? Or that he's a UFC fighter.
That's right. Yeah, an actor.
We've seen this third-party evidence, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
And they clearly believe he's a UFC fighter over there because people's posting pictures saying it, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are buying into his bullshit, and he's telling everyone the same thing. Goes back to the scattergun approach that he has. It's just a numbers game until he gets his hooks into one or two. So she's not manipulating him in any way. In terms of getting back to the UK, I've read enough comments from people that have married Filipinos and stuff, and they've talked about the process of trying to get them back to where they live in Australia or the UK or Europe, and it's massively long. It's not, it's not an easy process. So there's no way that he's getting her over for on a marital visa. He'd have to marry her first for a start. You have to marry her in the Philippines and then apply to the British government to bring my Filipino wife over. Do you know what I mean? You can't be bringing them over to marry them when you're here, in case you don't get married, and you know what I mean. And then we've got So no, the immigration laws are very, very tough. There's no chance that she'll be coming back to the UK with him. No, the immigration laws are very, very tough.
Someone's got the TV on. I think it's SH Legal. He's joined us again.
Guys, I'll try and get on again and speak to you because I live 30 seconds away from the Heggies. I've got a lot of true information. I'm not a troll. I'm just someone that knows the truth. And I will try and get on again, but I'm really very busy at the minute.
Okay, are they your short little videos that have been posted online?
I've started off, off.
I love them. Everyone should go and have a look at them.
Send me some links. I'll check them out.
Tristan, I've known him since the days when he used to hang around. I'm a bit younger than him. He used to hang around outside the under-18s discos. This is when he was a doorman, and he wasn't at work. He used to hang around waiting for his little girlfriend.
Well, if you listen, Carlisle, if you wanna message me or Craig with this information, we'd be quite happy to put it out there. You know, we can contact us. Is that okay with you, Craig?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, because we want this information to go out there. I know Craig uses his humour. He's a comedian, but also he's very, very serious about this.
I think it needs a bit of humour, otherwise everyone would be suicidal listening to it.
Correct. But people tend to think he just takes a mick. No, he doesn't. He's very serious about this issue, as we all are. If we can do anything, we definitely will.
Yeah.
Right, guys, I'm going to bring it to a close. Let's just, anybody has any ideas or anything we can do, please email me, message me.
Does anyone know if the Philippines is like Thailand, where non-Philippine residents can't own property?
Right.
Yeah, listen, for him to be there on a permanent visa, there's lots of hoops that he would have to go through. He has to have a business there, or money there, or work there, etc. So, I mean, immigration. I lived in Australia for 5 years, and I was sponsored by my employer, so they took all of the immigration part with me. Very difficult, very costly, but they could afford it because they were a business. The thing is, as well, he's playing a very dangerous game. In his video this morning, they're in the shopping centre, and he sent her into the immigration office. He's there an overstayer. He's an illegal alien currently. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He's playing a very, very, dodgy game there.
Yeah.
He doesn't really be anywhere near police or immigration.
Going to get him to buy property and then take it off him.
My problem is I can see that the triggers that he's having now. He's come on YouTube this morning, or this video you're talking about there, and he's saying, "Please leave me alone on YouTube. I'm getting warnings, etc." That's his total income. So he's triggered. He will take that out of somebody. And then she's come along and she said, look, we need to go back to immigration, blah, blah, blah. That's another trigger. He's triggered very easy. And that's why my concern for this girl is it could happen. It's just escalating so fast. What can we do?
His YouTube, she's the only thing he's got to take it out on.
Yes, but he will do. He's just don't forget, guys. This guy is narcissistic, and he's never wrong. In his head, he's never wrong. Has anybody ever heard him own up to anything? Unless there was something. He has admitted to things, but there's something in it for him, and that's what narcissistic people do. Look, let's all stick together. But, this corner of YouTube, as I said, it's hypersensitive. Let's forget as differences. Let's forget as fallouts. And, let's all, instead of calling each other petty names, let's try and pull together and see if we can help this girl. Because the last thing any of us want...
We are the world.
The last thing anybody wants is to hear the bad news, because we'll all be shaking inside thinking, why haven't we done anything? As hands are tied, I want to thank you all for coming on, guys. And you've all given great opinions, and that's what I wanted. I wanted a difference of opinions, because, as I said, debate is great. And let's see what happens. So I'll just say thank you to Jimmy, Craig, SH, Rach, Duck Egg, Ronan, and the rest of you that came on. Let's just see what happens.
Carlisle's channel, and it looks like they could be interesting videos to watch.
Yeah. I've sent Craig. I've messaged you the link to the channel.
Have you? I'll have a look at that now.
Yeah.
Can you pass that on to me, Craig?
It's only 12 o'clock for the Daily Digger.
Can you pass that on to me, that link, Craig?
Of course, yeah. Have you not got me on Facebook? You should be in my group chat, actually.
Okay, guys. Right, thanks, guys. Have a great day. And chin up, and we'll get to the end of this. Teamwork.
See you at 10 o'clock Tuesday night, Bobby, on the whiskey.
Certainly.
Hopefully not as drunk as last week.
You know, he spelled Vicky. He spelled Vicky out loud, and he went VICIIKI or something. It was totally wrong.
I don't watch him back because I actually did.
Was he trying to spell the word Mississippi and confuse it with Vicky?
There's a moment on Tuesday's night. A moment on Tuesday night's Night Owls where I thought Bobby might have died on air.
Yeah, I just saw a clip of me falling asleep and I thought, good God, no, please. So I don't watch them back. Anyway,
Bobby,
guys, have a good...
We're more concerned for you than we are Decker.
Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.
Take care, mate. Bye-bye.
We'll see you all soon. Bye now.